Hi there. So today we're going to focus on strategies to effectively build a professional network in Switzerland and other expat hubs. Just a reminder why that is important. So first of all, this is important because it will help you find a job, build a business, and also it will help you move forward professionally in any organization. So building this habit is actually something that is really, really relevant for your career, no matter which career you're in. Also, it can be a lot of fun if you learn to do it well. That's at least my opinion about it. So I recommend that you take a look at Adam M. Grant research and his book Give and Take for that. I drew a lot of my inspiration from his work, but I already had the attitude that he calls the giver attitude before I even came across Adam Grant. So one of the things, I find important is to think about your mindset. With the mindset of giving to other people, I think it is a lot easier to approach networking than if you think of networking as in what's in it for me. Because that is actually a taker attitude. So let's see. One of the things that I teach my more introverted clients is the 4P model. So what is the 4P model? It's actually about purpose, preparation, presence, and promises. Yeah, so the first step you need to think about is, why do you actually network? What is your purpose? Why do you do that? Is it, for example, to find a job? Is it to help a more junior professional in the field to find a job? Is it because you want to, in your spare time, support an NGO? Do you have a bigger purpose than something that is just for yourself? And if you have a bigger purpose than yourself, usually it's a lot easier to network. So, for example, I do a lot of outreach so that I can help more of my clients find a job in Switzerland. And it is also important for me to have a big network so that I can help more people find a job and bring more people into employment. And also, when I have a bigger voice, I can help more organizations that I'm supporting, like Relocate the Profit. So let me see. Purpose is number one. Once you have decided on your purpose, I find it very important to think of every networking opportunity and to prepare for it. Yeah, so preparation is number two. If you meet somebody that you do not know, check their LinkedIn profile, Google them, understand what they work at, and also try to understand what maybe some of their pain points are. And then when you know their pain points, you will be better able to help them. Sometimes you just have to ask a few good questions, and then you will find out more. Also, preparation means that, if you ask somebody to meet for lunch, you make it easy for them. You don't ask them to drive through the whole city or come to the airport to meet you. No, you meet them where they're at. You pick a restaurant close to where they work or close to where they are at home, if they're in the home office. You organize the restaurant, you reserve the table, you pay for the restaurant. So these are all things that I think, belong to good preparation. Then another thing is presence. So once you are in the meeting, once you are at the lunch, you spend your time focusing on the person that is talking to you. You listen to them. You listen to what they have to tell you. You take notes if you can. Yeah, because people have very limited time here. They're very busy. Successful people normally don't have time to help you unless there's a good reason or unless they do it as a favor to somebody they like and trust. So make sure that you really understand what they're telling you. And promises, always have a promise at the end of the conversation. Yeah, so tell them you're going to follow up with something, you're going to make a connection for them, you're going to write about them, you're going to do something, that they will remember you by. And then when you promise something, follow up on your promise. Keep them on top of your mind, but also make sure that they keep you on top of their mind. Or, as I used to say in many coaching conversations, keep the ball in your hands. It is your responsibility to manage the relationship, not theirs. Don't give them the ball. Don't drop the ball. Keep the ball in your hands. Now, there are other techniques like the professional blind date, which means that you meet with somebody that you do not know, that either has been introduced to you through a common connection, for example, myself, or that has been recommended to you to contact. So the same is true. You go through the 4 Ps, you meet that person, and you find out what they need, and then you give them what they need if you can, and help them with that before you ever ask them for a favor. Now, if you have a very good relationship, or if you have the feeling, you share the same values, you're vibing, it's a sort of natural conversation, it doesn't feel weird, then one thing you can ask them at the end of the lunch, for example, is whether they could connect you to 3 people in their network, which means send me their LinkedIn profiles, I will follow up. Yeah. Don't put the work on them. Just ensure that they select the 3 people. I hope you understand that. If not, please ask me. The next thing that you could launch into is the so-called expert interview. Now, I've been talking a lot about the expert interviews, and I'm also running a series called the Red Couch Talk, which is an example of an expert interview that I have been running in the last few years. My aim there was to promote professionals and expats and global nomads and people in the field of global mobility. But also the Red Couch Talk serves to basically contact people that I don't know. And it works really well. And I get introductions from people that say, hey, why don't you talk to Angie and be on her Red Couch? So check out the Red Couch Talks if you want an example. Key for the expert interview is you give something to the other person that they need. So, for example, exposure on social media. Because many experts and many busy people and entrepreneurs and people like myself, what they don't have is time. Yeah. So if you can help them get more exposure, that is actually supportive. You could also pay them. Yeah. So that's for some people, it's just payment that they need for consulting, for example. Or you could give them connections. For example, they might be in business development, or they might be challenged like yourself. They might be a little bit inhibited to reach out to other people. Yeah, so you could introduce them to some people in your network. I call this the 3 Fs. So remember the 3 Fs as well. 4 Ps, 3 Fs. And so the 3 Fs are fame, fortune, and friends. And I think that's really what people need. So they either need fame, yeah, so they need more outreach, more voice, they need to be more known, or they need fortune, they need money, yeah, so you pay them for something, for service, for consultation, or they need friends, they need connection. So one of the things, that a lot of people miss in this country is personal contacts, because it's actually not so easy to build up a network of friends here. So for some people, this might just be what they need. And this is a bit sensitive, so don't approach it too bluntly. All of these topics are sensitive, by the way. Okay, so think about if you can give them something that they might need. In one of the next modules, I will talk about how to integrate offline methods into networking and also how to build a voice. So this will be two separate videos. For now, I would like you to think about how can I build the habit of meeting people for lunch that I do not know yet, or meeting people that I have known in the past that I've lost contact with. How can I build this habit? And one of the things that you have to remember, people in Switzerland, they plan 4 to 8 weeks in advance. So get your lunch dates in the calendar up to 8 weeks ahead. Have fun. Ciao.